When Marcus was released in CN, everyone thought she was just okay. While she could achieve an extreme stable rotation with constant ultimates thanks to her passives, her multiplier wasn't that impressive, and she didn't have crazy building damage bonus like Jessica did. Even with the help of her incantation rank up, she only performed about as the same, or maybe slightly better, than Jessica in AoE scenarios. However, as new supports were released, she began to fit into better teams and slowly rose to the power level you would expect from a Gen 2 unit, just like Spathodia after meeting Isolde. In this video, we'll first go over how her Eureka and incantation rank up system works and give you her builds, before going into details on how to achieve stability with her rotation and her team available now and in the future. Let's start with her passive. For the first part, at the beginning of the turn, if there are no enemy with Annotate on them, Marcus will apply Annotate to an enemy, prioritizing bosses. If there is no boss on the field, it will instead target the enemy with the highest attack. Annotate does two things. It increases the effect of her incantation against the target, which we will cover when we get to her skills, and it also helps her generate Eureka. Whenever the target with Annotate take action, Marcus will gain a Eureka up to 3 times per turn. This is not the only way she can generate Eureka. She will also generate 1 Eureka when she enters combat and at the beginning of each turn. Additionally, she has +1 Eureka cap just like 6. Now, what are these Eureka used for? At the beginning of each turn, Marcus will randomly rank up cards in her hand. It costs her 2 Eurekas to rank up from 1 to 2 and 3 Eureka to rank up from 2 to 3. This process will use as many Eureka as possible and prioritize lower rank incantations. You probably know that when incantations are ranked up, they gain multipliers and sometimes additional effects, but they provide one more thing for Marcus. If there are 2 other units on the team that are either plant, intelligence, or spirit, she will gain Peruso. With Peruso, she will gain 1 bonus Moxie every time she casts a rank 2 or rank 3 incantation. This effectively reduces the length of her rotation from the regular 6 action to 4 actions. In practice, this means you will often be able to cast her ultimate every other turn, or even sometimes back to back in ideal scenarios. Her ultimate deals 250% damage to all enemies and additional 200% damage to the target with Annotate. While this damage isn't high for an ultimate, it plays a key part in her stable rotation. The ultimate provides Marcus with 2 Eureka, which is enough for 1 incantation rank up and a pre-cast skill 1 for the next turn. If you refresh her skill on this turn, you will be able to have 3 of her cards next turn. With her incantation rank up and her passives, she is guaranteed to generate enough Moxie in next turn, allowing her to enter very comfortable rotations. Now, since her kit is focused on rank up her card, how good are her incantations really? Her skill 1 is a very simple single target attack that is slightly better than the standard at rank 2 and rank 3, and her skill 2 is AoE incantation that deals bonus damage against marked enemy just like her ultimate. However, unlike her skill 1, her skill 2 sacrifices some of its damage to apply weakness to enemy at rank 2 and rank 3. At first glance, this skill does seem unimpressive when compared to newer characters. While she has a good rotation, her kit doesn't seem to have the crazy bonus built in that we would expect out of newer character. And this is because her teammates are not here yet. Her first teammate, Vila, will be released in 1.8 first half. Vila is a single target focused healer with very strong critical buff. More importantly, she can supply Marcus with a special buff that directly increases incantation's multiplier based on their rank. And Marcus is the only character that can constantly take extra advantage out of the multiplier boost with her rank up mechanic. Additionally, Mercuria from 2.0 can also provide another 20% crit rate with her skill 2, with additional synergies tied to incantation rank up mechanics. But that's too far in the future, so I'll instead go over more about Mercuria in my Vila guide instead. Before we go further with team building and rotation, let me quickly drop her build. For Resonance, don't go for crit at least yet, because her crit tech is too low to properly build crit until Vila comes out. Instead, go for attack resonance I have here. Her Psychube, another story, is kind of insane. It provides ultimate might as special stats, along with damage bonus and incantation might in its passive, covering every single front. Damage bonus does need stacking, but it shouldn't take you more than 5 turns in a regular rotation. I won't be providing substitute Psychubes recommendation anymore starting this video, since Psychubes are all free to acquire from the shop. But if you guys still care about substitute Psychubes, please let me know in the comment section down below and I'll add it back in the future guides. For a portrait, it's kind of a low value in my opinion compared to other recent characters. Her portrait 1 gives her 2 more Eureka at the beginning of the fight. While it's not the biggest improvement, it does allow her to upgrade both of her skill on turn 1. This means you can get her ultimate on turn 2 by doing an empty move and use both of her cards. Portrait 4 gives her more Eureka per turn, which makes her portrait 2 a lot easier to proc, and for portrait 3 and portrait 5, they provide direct multiplier increase to her skill. Now that you have a good understanding of how her kit works, let's move on to the actual rotation to know. For Marcus' regular rotation, you are looking for 4 actions per 2 turns. This includes 1 ultimate, 2 rank 2 or above incantations, and 1 rank 1 incantation. For 3 on-field situations, this leaves 2 slots for support. For 4 on-field teams, while this supposedly leaves 4 slots for support, she can sometimes take up all the action of a turn to achieve ultimate back-to-back when RNG allows. That being said, to achieve true rotation stability, you will sometimes have to refresh the deck using tuning skill. Specifically, if she doesn't have either 1 rank 2 skill or 2 rank 1 skill on the turn where she casts her ultimate, she should refresh. Let's look at the different scenarios and understand why. Starting with when she needs to refresh. In this case, you're guaranteed to have at least 1 Eureka from the turn start. By refreshing, you will have 2 more rank 1 skill in your hand. After casting her ultimate, next turn, you will have 3 total cards because of the precast, with 2 of them upgraded. This guarantees her ultimate to come back next turn. If you do have a rank 2 incantation, you should use her ultimate and the skill on the turn. After this turn, you will have at least 3 Eureka plus 2 Moxie from the rank 2 skill. If next turn you only have precast cards from her, refresh for another card to get her ultimate back. The precast won't be a part of the reroll even if it's ranked up. This again guarantees her ultimate to come back. Now there is one more unlucky scenario I want to cover. When you refresh with her ult, you may not get 2 skills for Marcus, especially in 4-member teams due to ultimate occupying a slot. If you do not have enough cost to refresh again, I suggest doing an empty move next turn for 1 Moxie so you can keep the rotation going. Now, to reach this stable rotation, Peruso is extremely important. Without it, she cannot perform well as a DPS at all. With that in mind, for the current patch, the best team option is 6 and Annotate. Both 6 and Annotate have built-in incantation rank up mechanics, which further enhances Marcus' incantation-focused playstyle. Additionally, Annotate's built-in rank up mechanic means when you refresh, you have a higher chance of getting rank 2 or rank 3 cards for Marcus. While the 3-member team doesn't have access to a healer, I've tested it, and 6 provide enough survivability for this patch. For a 4-member team, Tooth Fairy will occupy the last slot. If you don't have an Annotate or 6, you can also use Jessica. Interestingly, Marcus's mark is a debuff, which means it counts toward Blasphemer of the Night. Regardless of your team's composition, when playing Marcus, activating her Peruso should always be a priority. With Vila coming out next patch, her best team becomes significantly better. I recommend using Marcus, 6 and Vila for a 3-member team, and add an Annotate for a 4-member team. Vila will boost Marcus' critical rate by 30% and critical damage by 40%. Additionally, her upgraded buff will also boost Marcus' multiplier to an impressive amount, allowing her to actually perform like a Gen 2 unit. You can also consider replacing Annotate with someone else since you now have access to Peruso with just Vila and 6. Some good choices are Regulus and Pickles, as they will fit comfortably in this team, with neither Marcus nor her supports using up all the moves every turn. Her team will further evolve in 2.0 with the release of Mercuria, a support that performs significantly better when paired with Marcus and also boosts the power of Vila through her mechanic. However, this video is already kind of long, so we'll cover that next time. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about Marcus. I know she's a really fun character to play, but similar to Spidodia, she's not as good until at least Vila comes out, which is actually just next patch. If you have enough pull for both, consider going for it, but if you think you don't have enough pull to get both, you should prioritize Vila. Vila is a great unit regardless of Marcus, but Marcus is not that great without Vila. As always, this has been SteamBandX. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.